All right, I'm here at 3130 Altura, and I'm cameraing the sewer line, the sewer main, from the city of El Paso all the way back to the house, to the cleanout that's in that basement underneath the stairwell. That's where I'm located right now. I'm running the camera from that cleanout in the stairwell down in the basement. So I've pushed it through. It was clogged with, it happened to be that the camera cleared the line, pushed all that flaky stuff or whatever it was, built up in the line. So now it's dewatered, and I run it all the way to the city of El Paso, and here's the city of El Paso right there. It's got a clay tap. It's got a turn right here, but you can see some of the water running. Now this camera's on a spool, so the bottom, you can see that the water's on the left-hand side. So that's the bottom. It may make a full turn by the time I pull it all back, and right now we're at 59 feet 4 inches. So here we go, pulling it back from the city of El Paso, and you can see that it's a cast iron line. That's what happens to cast iron when it's over 40 years old. It starts to scale like this, but that's normal. And right now it's still somewhat in good condition right there, even for being this old. So I'm pulling it back. You can see all the friendly creatures that we have here in El Paso. But you can see it's real scaly, dry looking, because it had been sitting for so long. Now this right here that you see, this big mess of like rocks at the bottom, that comes from the scale that falls from the pipe. So you can see the top of the pipe where the cockroaches are. The bottom is where this big rocks are, this white, real bright piece. But if you look directly up to the top, you'll see the scale missing from the top of the pipe. Right there, you can see that. Here's a turn. And again, you can see all the cast iron, how it's scaly. You can see it all over, built up. You can see a small little cracks where the roaches are hiding. But it's a cast iron pipe, and it's scaly. You can see the flow on the bottom there. You can see the camera bouncing around over this rough kind of terrain that it's accumulated already. You can see the scale hanging off right there, that real bright piece on the left, to the top, I mean, right there. You can see it. That scale, see it separated from the wall? You can see it's going to fall someday. Maybe with lots of water passing it, it'll wash it down. And you can see the scale on the right hand, on top of the pipe, and there's some of it there. Again, you can see it in a scaly type of. Right here, that you see this hole up on top. That's the clean out. That's outside. Again, this pipe has been left for so long, it's just dry. That's what happens to it. It flakes, dries, the scales fall to the bottom. And right now, we ran the water, we ran the shower, we ran everything to moisten it up and get it to where my camera looks at it real well, and you can see a very good picture of the scales and the condition it's in. It as far as scaliness, it's everywhere. It's all of it. And you can see buildup right here in the bottom. That hump right there is just piping that's just scaled up, so it's turned rock hard there. You can see it's more of it here. You can actually see the scales right there at the bottom where the water's moving. You can see the difference in the way it looks right there. You can see the difference in the scales from the sides to the top where the cockroach is you can see that the scale is real thick at the bottom, right there where it's hanging onto, and you can see the separation of that, how the scales look right there. See that? He's hanging on to the scaly part of it. That's what he's doing right there. You can see the difference in the top and the bottom. Again, all of this is cast iron piping. I would recommend not using such a heavy paper because of the scales. Look, you can see them down at the bottom. They look like rocks down at the bottom there. See all that? All of that is scale. You can see that I'm pushing it back and forth. See there's a big piece right there. All of that is just scale coming from the old pipe, the cast iron pipe. It's fallen from the top to the bottom. You can see it all on the sides where my camera is actually splitting everything. You can see how it's been left alone for quite a while. Again, you can see there, scale build up on the bottom and the sides. There's big pieces right there. Oh, this es lo que estaba tapándolo, mire. Está un bonche de papel ahí, mire, atorado. Ve. There's an opening in the top right there, so all of that paper was falling right here and wasn't flowing. So it got clogged. You can see the stoppages right there, sir. So this still needs probably another passing by with a cable to get that big chunk of paper. Again, what I was going to recommend is just that, not to use this type of heavy paper. It might have some wipies in there. It doesn't look like it, but that type of heavy paper is not going to flow in this cast iron line due to all the flakes and scales. You can see the scales on the left-hand side of your screen. You can almost see a big piece of it right there, just hanging off the edge there, right at the edge of my camera. As I pull back, you'll see it a little more. But
what kind of paper was that?
No, that's toilet paper, but it's just too heavy, too thick. What I'm going to recommend here in this recording is to use Scott tissue. It's called Scott tissue, and it's made for septic tanks, actually, so that the paper tears apart much easier, so it'll flow through this type of rough piping. So that's what you can see, the big pieces of these little rocks and all of this scale at the bottom, and all of this.
Where are we at right there? Where is it at?
We're 12 feet out from here. We're probably just right outside the house.
Oh, okay.
See, I put a measurement on there, so it's 12 feet 7 inches from where I'm at right here under this stairwell. We're bringing it back from the city of El Paso again. I've been narrating most of it. You can see all the scales again. It's mostly what's going on here. And then here I am already going to come out, making a small turn right there. I don't know what that is. It looks like just a little tiny root. More. But we're 6 feet out, so we're just outside the door here. But you can see it's just scaly. Look at all that scale right there. All that at the bottom. They look like rocks. That's scale for the pipe. Look at the top of your screen. Do you see the scale separating itself from the pipe? Do you see that big chunk right there? Right there. And that's only 2 feet away from where I'm at. So it's real close under this house right now. I'm bringing it back. And here we are. Yeah. Now, I didn't see any roots at all from that tree, or cracks from that tree, but what I did see was just a bunch of scale, that's all.